Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into What Everybody is Saying by Joe Navarro, a former FBI agent renowned for his expertise in nonverbal communication. This compelling book strips down the complex world of body language, offering pointers on how to interpret what people's physical gestures really mean. Navarro brings over 25 years of experience in observing and decoding the silent messages communicated through body movements, which often reveal more than words could ever express. In What Everybody is Saying, Navarro lays out practical strategies that anyone can use to improve their understanding of others' true feelings and intentions without them saying a word. Whether you're a psychology enthusiast, a professional seeking to enhance your observational skills, or simply curious about human behavior, this book provides invaluable insights into the subtle art of reading body language. Join us as we explore the powerful insights that help Navarro become a leading figure in the study of nonverbal communication and discover how you, too, can become more adept at understanding the unspoken language of the body. What Everybody is Saying, an ex-FBI agent's guide to speed reading people. Introduction. Unlock the secrets of body language to decode hidden thoughts and emotions. Have you ever wondered what someone is really thinking or feeling during a conversation? What if you could detect lies or anticipate someone's actions just by observing them? This is not the stuff of superheroes or science fiction. It's a skill that you can actually develop, and it starts with understanding body language. A proficient ability to interpret nonverbal communication, such as expressions, gestures, and posture, reveals insights that words alone might not, often because individuals are either unaware of the signals they emit or are unable to control them completely. Embark on the path to becoming an expert observer, a skill akin to one honed by FBI agents who must decipher truthful intentions hidden underneath deceptive speech. Mastering this technique involves developing a keen eye for the tells that are most revealing. First, grasp the concept of the honest brain, our instinctive reactions, which are encoded in our limbic system. This primal part of the brain responds to the world around us reflexively and honestly, thus bypassing the more controlled and conscious efforts to mask feelings. Did you know that the feet and legs are often the most truthful indicators of genuine emotion? That's right. While many people might focus on maintaining a composed face or controlling their hands, they often overlook their legs and feet, which can twitch, shuffle, or move directionally in alignment with their true desires or emotional state. Similarly revealing is understanding why certain nervous habits, like pen twiddling, manifest. These tiny tells are outward expressions of internal anxiety or discomfort, signals that someone might be conflicted or feeling stressed. As you advance in your awareness of these signals, from the grounding of the feet to the subtleties of hand movements, you'll grow more attuned to the true sentiments being communicated by those around you, whether they're aware of it or not. Mastering this skill does not just apply in high-stakes scenarios like negotiation or interrogation. It's equally useful in everyday interactions, enhancing your understanding of friends, family, and colleagues. Thus, understanding body language is not merely a tactical skill, but a gateway to deeper empathy and more effective communication. Part 1. Discover how nonverbal cues unveil the truth behind the words. Is that really your final answer? Even when the words affirm it, the truth could be hidden elsewhere. And "I like you" may sound sincere, but is it really? Imagine navigating social interactions with the ability to sense the underlying truths or detect genuine intentions. This is not just possible. It's something we inherently practice every day through body language. In fact, about 60 to 65% of all communication between people is nonverbal. This entails expressions, gestures, the way we touch, our movements, and even the tone and volume of our voices. Collectively, these elements weave the intricate tapestry of interpersonal communication, where spoken words are merely one fragment of the entire narrative. Each physical expression, whether intentional or reflexive, contributes to the dialogue, often revealing more than verbal statements might. This richness of nonverbal communication is so profound that even two individuals without a common spoken language can form a bond, navigating their interaction through the universal language of gestures and expressions. The author himself, migrating from Cuba at the age of 8, first connected with his peers in the US not through English, but through the silent dialogue of body language. This form of communication is not just universal, but also remarkably truthful. While people may attempt to mask their feelings or intentions with words, their nonverbal cues often betray their real thoughts without their conscious awareness. For instance, consider a suspect denying a crime. Her words might weave a plausible alibi, but if her gestures unconsciously contradict her story, such as pointing in a direction opposite to the one she claims to have taken, these nonverbal signals might reveal the truth. Understanding and interpreting these signals can provide us with a remarkable edge in deciphering the hidden dynamics of human interactions. Whether it's detecting a lie, understanding a friend's unspoken discomfort, or even navigating a complex negotiation, the silent cues of body language often speak the loudest truths. Part 2. Exploring the limbic brain, the ultimate truth teller in human interactions. Have you ever wondered where the instinctive responses our bodies communicate, the ones that seem to bypass our conscious control, come from? Look no further than the limbic brain, the ancient structure nestled deep within your brain, overseeing your survival instincts. Known as the honest brain, the limbic system operates 24/7, constantly processing sensory data and emotions, formulating reactions almost instantaneously. Due to its primary role in our survival, its responses are deeply embedded into our nervous system, making them nearly impossible to conceal. This is why the limbic brain is incredibly reliable for revealing our genuine thoughts and emotions, before even we're fully aware of them. When someone suddenly freezes during a conversation, it's the limbic brain orchestrating a primal freeze response, a vestige from our ancestors' survival strategies. Historically, when humans faced a potential threat, engaging in a fight was a less favored option due to the physical superiority of predators. Flight, or fleeing, was often the safer, more instinctual choice. In modern scenarios, while we're not dodging predators, our limbic brain still defaults to these ancient mechanisms. During a tense argument, notice if someone leans back or averts their gaze. That's the limbic brain initiating a flight response without the physical running. Conversely, a fight response might manifest not through physical aggression, but as sharp words or a sarcastic tone. It's the limbic brain's way of confronting the threat verbally. This link between the limbic responses and our nonverbal cues is a powerful tool, critically important in scenarios where trust is on the line, such as negotiations or in detecting deception. By understanding how the limbic brain influences physical reactions, we unlock a deeper level of insight into human behavior, revealing truths that words alone might obscure. Part 3. Feet Don't Lie. How Our Legs Reveal Our True Feelings. Remember how, as a child, you were often told, "Don't make that face," when begrudgingly faced with a plate of disliked food? From an early age, we're taught to mask our facial expressions, training our faces to conceal true emotions and intentions. This habit makes the face one of the least reliable indicators in body language reading. Ironically, while many focus on deciphering facial expressions, it's our legs and feet that often give away the most honest insights. The feet, not typically monitored or controlled as consciously as the face, react instinctively and honestly due to their primeval role in our survival. Historically, our feet's quick reflexes allowed our ancestors to swiftly react to dangers, like hot surfaces or nearby threats. These reactions are deeply ingrained and continue to manifest subconsciously. For instance, if you notice someone's feet pointing towards the doorway during a conversation, it's a strong signal. It could indicate a desire to exit the situation or a lack of interest or confidence in the interaction. These cues are subtle yet profoundly informative, providing a glimpse into a person's genuine sentiments. Legs crossed during a dialogue often communicate a message as well. While crossed legs can signify comfort and relaxation, they can also act as a protective barrier, indicating a need for distance or even discomfort, depending on the context. Observing how and when a person uncrosses their legs can provide clues about changes in their comfort levels. Moreover, the legs and feet are more than just messengers of intent. Their movements can influence and reflect the emotional state of the entire body. Happiness, for instance, can cause someone to wiggle their feet or bounce their legs, a movement that often travels up the body and brightens the person's facial expressions. In essence, while many nuances of body language are open to interpretation, the legs and feet serve as honest broadcasters of our innermost thoughts and feelings. By paying attention to these often overlooked extremities, you can gain deeper insights into the emotions and intentions of those around you. Part 4: The Telling Tale of Our Hands. Unveiling stress and intentions through gestures. Consider the dynamics of a handshake. How firm was the grip? Was there an accompanying touch on the arm? The hands, perhaps the most expressive parts of our body, are meticulously evolved tools crucial for survival and diverse in their capability, from creating delicate art to lifting heavy burdens. They are also exquisitely sensitive, providing keen insights into a person's deeper thoughts and emotional state. Our fascination with hands isn't merely aesthetic or functional, it's deeply rooted in survival. Historically, observing the hands of others allowed us to gauge potential threats or intentions. This instinctual scrutiny explains why magicians exploit our focus on hands to perform sleights and tricks, captivating audiences by manipulating their keenest points of attention. Hands are communicative beyond their practical functions. Consider the implications of pointing, a gesture that could transform a simple statement into a stark accusation, as in, "I know you did it." The addition of a pointed finger introduces aggression and confrontation into the exchange, tapping into primal reactions associated with threat perception. Thumbs, too, are profoundly expressive. A thumbs up can communicate approval and positivity across cultures, a universal symbol of goodwill. Conversely, thumbs tucked into pockets might suggest insecurity or a lack of confidence, often perceived as a sign of lower status or uncertainty. People in positions of power, or those aspiring to appear powerful, frequently exhibit their thumbs, protruding from pockets or belts, as a signal of confidence and control. This subtle hand positioning can reveal much about a person's self-perception and intended social signaling. Next time you witness a handshake, pay close attention to the aftermath, the lingering grip, the positioning of the thumbs, any supplementary touches. These nuances offer a window into the unspoken impressions and sentiments exchanged in that brief moment, providing clues to understanding underlying social dynamics and individual dispositions. Part 5: Deciphering Deceit. Understanding the nonverbal cues of dishonesty. Having delved into the honest body parts, our focus now turns to the signals of dishonesty. How can we distinguish signs of deceit from mere excitement or fatigue? It all boils down to understanding how our limbic system reacts under stress and deceit. Our limbic brain, integral in managing emotions, often gets activated when there is a discrepancy between what we know is true and what we express verbally. This conflict triggers a release of neurotransmitters, like adrenaline, which can cause notable physical reactions. One of these reactions is quivering. A person's hands may tremble slightly while holding slender objects such as pens or pencils. and this can serve as a telling sign. However, interpreting quivering requires context. It could signify nervous excitement in a positive scenario, like a job interview, or anxiety in a high-pressure situation, such as an interrogation. Beyond quivering, individuals often engage in what are known as pacifying behaviors to soothe themselves after stressful encounters. These can take various forms, such as chewing on a pencil to dampen nerves, or subconsciously touching one's face or neck during uncomfortable questions. These gestures are attempts by the body to regain composure and reduce distress. Understanding these pacifying behaviors is crucial, but it's equally important to familiarize yourself with a person's baseline behaviors, how they typically act when calm or under normal circumstances. This baseline serves as a critical reference point, making it easier to spot deviations that might indicate deceit. Recognizing these subtleties in body language can be a powerful tool in assessing honesty, but it's vital to consider these signals in a broader psychological and situational context to avoid misjudgments. Let's remember, understanding the language of nonverbal cues is nuanced and requires keen observation and experience. Part 6. Honing the art of reading body language through skilled observation. To excel at interpreting body language, one must cultivate precision in observational skills, an ability that requires persistent practice and keen attention to detail. Simply knowing isolated facts about body gestures or facial expressions isn't sufficient. Each physical cue needs to be contextualized within the broader situation and the ongoing communication to truly understand its significance. Observing body language effectively demands a heightened level of situational awareness. This involves absorbing and processing as many relevant details as possible within a given environment. Consider a driver who is texting while navigating the roads. His lack of attention to the broader scenario, like an approaching bicyclist, highlights a dire lack of situational awareness, which in critical moments can prove fatal. Similarly, when analyzing body language, an observer must not only focus on isolated signals, but understand the interplay of multiple cues to form a comprehensive view of the person's emotional and psychological state. Establishing an individual's baseline behavior, their usual demeanor and gestures in a relaxed state, is crucial. It serves as a reference point, helping the observer detect deviations that could indicate stress, discomfort, or deceit. What does their typical posture look like? How do they usually hold their hands? Knowing these norms will make it easier to spot when something is amiss. Much like knowing the appearance of a healthy throat, makes it possible to identify signs of illness. Crafting this skill also involves discretion. Observing too overtly can alert your subject and possibly cause them to alter their behavior, skewing the authenticity of their nonverbal cues. Thus, while practicing your observational skills, it's important to remain subtle and unobtrusive. Begin with clear, straightforward nonverbal cues to establish a foundation. Analyze where these signs stem from and gradually work your way towards more complex interpretations and predictions. Like any skill, mastering the art of reading body language takes time, but with persistent practice and heightened awareness, it can become a powerful tool in understanding human behavior more deeply. Part 7. Unmasking deception. Fine-tuning your skills to discern true versus false communication. Mastering the interpretation of nonverbal cues can significantly enhance your ability to detect deception. But how reliable can this skill really be? And what are the fundamentals of spotting falsity in communication? One key method is to scrutinize the alignment between verbal expressions and nonverbal behaviors. When people speak the truth, their gestures, facial expressions, and words naturally synchronize. For instance, someone genuinely excited might animatedly use their hands, or their eyes might light up with their smile. These are spontaneous and congruent actions. However, discrepancies arise when deceit is at play. A person telling a lie might experience a disconnect between their spoken words and physical expressions. For example, during stressful situations like interrogations, a deceptive individual might need extra time to concoct a story, leading to delayed reactions or unnatural movements, such as slower blinking or hesitant gesturing. Moreover, remember that interaction is a two-way street. Your own behavior can influence how the other person acts. If you display suspicion through accusatory questions or doubtful looks, you might inadvertently prompt changes in the person's behavior, making it even harder to gauge their honesty. Maintaining a neutral and non-threatening demeanor is crucial. Overstepping personal boundaries, whether by maintaining intense eye contact, prolonged handshakes, or invasively close seating, can provoke discomfort and skew natural responses. Lastly, it's vital to stay adaptable in your judgments. Avoid locking onto a single interpretation too early. Instead, let your observations guide your understanding, adjusting your hypotheses as new behaviors unfold. This flexibility can prevent confirmation bias and allows for a more objective and accurate assessment of the true nature of the communication. Final summary. The core insight from this insightful exploration into body language is the pivotal role played by the limbic brain, an ancient and honest mediator of our nonverbal communication. Unbeknownst to our conscious self, it sends out signals that manifest in involuntary movements across our bodies, often bypassing the more controlled and rehearsed behaviors. These subtle cues, particularly evident in the movements of our legs, hands, and feet, carry the raw truths of our emotions and intentions. By dedicating time to understand and interpret these signals, a skill that enhances with practice, we become adept at reading the underlying messages people convey beyond their words. This powerful competence opens up new dimensions in understanding human behavior, offering profound insights into the unspoken elements of communication. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.